to invite the head of delegation from National Institute of Defense Studies and NIDS Japan, Mr. Shoji Tomotaka, to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's our great honor and pleasure to be able to have a chance to come to MiDAS and present our view on regional security. My name is Shoji Tomotaka. I'm a researcher on security in ASEAN area. So currently our delegation is composed of two researchers, myself and Mr. Harada. He's an emerging expert on the MiDAS security. So it's my great pleasure to have talks with you on regional security centered on the MiDAS security or the NIDS and thank you so much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored to have with us today Mr. Harada from National Institute for Defense Studies and NIDS Japan to present on Belt and Road Initiative from Japan's perspective. His areas of expertise are maritime security and cyber security. Without further ado, we invite Mr. Harada to deliver his presentation.
Bukan nak view tu pergi ke presentation tu je, tolong ni sekejap. Tekan presentation tu kot, tolong ni tu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harada. I'm a research fellow of National Institute of Defense Studies. And NIDS is kind of a strategic think tank of the Ministry of Defense. And today I would like to talk about Japan's perspective on China's Belt and Road Initiative. Thank you for giving me a time to make a presentation on this topic. At first, as a typical way, let me here. Hello. At first, let me disclaim first. My discussion of you in my presentation is strictly my own and on behalf of the Government of Japan and also Ministry of Defense of Japan. And I have 3 points in the presentation. Let me short look at Japan's free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. Let me call points in the presentation. And also I would like to actually look at China Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. And the second point is, so points is mutually exclusive with the BRI. My simple answer is not mutually exclusive, but there are conditions. And the most important condition is the project, therefore, should be basing on the rule of law. And, okay, so what the rule of law, what Japan Ministry of Defense, JMOD, has been done or doing to improve the rule of law in this region. I would like to introduce you current effort by JMOD in this region. So this is a map. At first, I would like to start about China's BRI. this is a map of China's BRI quoted from so-called Mercator Institute, located in Berlin, in Germany. And this map shows the BRI initiative is a worldwide one. And the aim of BRI is to build infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, it doesn't only mean the hard infrastructure, such as railways or roads. It also includes so-called soft infrastructure, such as trade and transportation agreement, or even people-to-people relationship. And this BRI initiative was first revealed in 2013 by Chinese President Xi Jinping. And since then, the BRI drew global attention. And when we easily understand, the BRI has a two front. First front is Silk Road around area, and the second Silk Road on maritime area. The Silk Road on maritime area is laying on what we call Indo-Pacific. And in terms of building an infrastructure in this region, it is very good, I think. But at the same time, there are some critics. Some critics say that BRI is lacking transparency. And also the unsustainable borrowing to the fund project will lead the countries to a so-called debt trap. That is a problem. And even some critics said BRI is a tool for China to expand their influence in the region. And at first, honestly, Japanese government also viewed BRI with skepticism. But what is interesting is recently Japanese government gradually changed its stance on BRI. For example, in last year, the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe expressed his intention to cooperate with China on BRI in his remarks at the conference gathering Japanese and Chinese executives. But of course, it doesn't mean Japan fully supports China's BRI without any conditions. There are conditions. And for example, in his remarks, Prime Minister Abe stated that Japan can cooperate with China's BRI with pursuing free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. So what is free and open Indo-Pacific strategy is? Let me explain that for you next. Free and open Indo-Pacific strategy, so-called FOIPS, was first revealed at Prime Minister Abe's keynote speech at TICAD. The TICAD is full name is the Tokyo International Conference on African Development. Just for your information, this conference is a meeting regularly held leading by Japan and co-chaired by the UN, the African Union Commission, and so on. And with inviting all African heads of state and government, as well as international organizations, and so on. And in the keynote address at TICAD, Prime Minister Abe stated that Japan bears the responsibility of fostering the confluence of the Pacific and Indian Ocean and of Asia and Africa into a place that values freedom, the rule of law, and market economy, free from force of coercion, and making it prosperous. So, as Prime Minister Abe's speech shows, the aim of Japanese points is to improve connectivity between Asia, where rapidly growing, and also between Africa, where possessing a huge potential for growth. That is the aim of points. And and to achieve that goal, Japan highlights the importance of bettering freedom, the rule of law, the market economy, the free from force and coercion, and so on. and also the keeping high quality rules for trade, investment, and infrastructure, as speech of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe shows. And particularly in terms of connecting two oceans, namely the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean, Japan emphasizing the importance to keep those two oceans as a global commons, governed by rule of law with respecting freedom of navigation. And also, Japan emphasizing the importance to secure maritime security, safety in those two oceans. So, maybe our question is FOIPS is mutually exclusive with China's BRI or not? The simple answer is not, but there are conditions, as I said in head of my presentation, and these conditions are clearly indicated in the press conference by Foreign Minister Taro Kono in this year, after the fourth Japan-China high-level economic dialogue. Now, just for your information, that this high-level economic dialogue is fourth time, and third time is held 8 years ago, I mean 2010. So, held the fourth dialogue means that Japan-China relationship is getting better and better in recent years. And in this press conference, Taro Kono said that Japan can cooperate with China on BRI case by case. And also he mentioned that free and open in the Pacific can contribute to China's Belt and Road Initiative. But then he stated the conditions such as the BRI initiative should based on the international standards, and also should be keeping a transparency, and openness, and soundness. And to fulfill those conditions, basing on the rule of law is necessary. That is the clear position of Japan. It's my view. But advocating the importance of rule of law is not new for Japanese government. I mean, Abe administration. For example, in 2014 at Shangri-La Dialogue, Prime Minister Abe revealed the 3 principles of rule of law at sea. Namely, first, making and clarifying claims based on international law. Second, not using force or coercion, trying to drive their trades. Third, seeking to settle disputes by peaceful means. The reason why Japan advocating the importance of rule of law is very clear, because the rule of law is a precondition to achieve mutual benefit among country states. So my question is, have the principles being upheld and mutual benefits being achieved, particularly in the South China Sea? We can easily find that continued militarization of island outposts in the South China Sea and consolidating changes to the status quo by aggregating one fait accompli after another. So maybe we can conclude that the 3 principles not being held and mutual benefits not being achieved. So, yes, we understand the importance of rule of law. So, what Japanese, particularly JMOD, has been done or has been doing to expand the improve the rule of law in this region? When we talk about the defense cooperation between ASEAN and Japan, let me introduce one important key concept. That is named the ancient vision. This vision is a guiding principle for Japan's defense cooperation with ASEAN, announced as Japan's own initiative at the second ASEAN-Japan Defense Ministers informal meeting held in Tianjin, Lao PDO in 2016. And the vision was welcomed by all the participating countries of ASEAN. And the important point is this vision is for the first time shows in a transparent manner the full picture of future direction of defense cooperation with the ASEAN as a whole in the priority areas. And notably, one of the 3 main purposes is promoting and enhancing the rule of law in this region. And moreover, in this vision, JMOD stated that Japan supports ASEAN efforts to uphold principles of international law, especially in the field of maritime and airspace. For example, prior to the vision, Japan held a International Aviation Law Seminar at Royal Malaysian Navy in 2015. And also, after review that vision, the effort is expanding. For example, JMOD has conducted holding an international law of the sea seminar as a part of the Japan ASEAN Shipwrighter Program. As a part of Japan's Shipwrighter Cooperation Program, which was held in June 2017 and May 2018 two times. And also the same kind of international law of the sea seminar was also held two times in Indonesia. So let me conclude my presentation. Japan's voice is not mutually exclusive with China's BRI. However, there are conditions such as international standards, transparency, openness, and soundness. And to fulfill those conditions, basing on rule of law is important. That is Japan's position, is my view. And to promote and enhance the rule of law, ASEAN and Japan's cooperation is critically important. And now the cooperation is advancing in this regard. Thank you for your listening.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, Mr. Harada Yu. We will now open the floor for Q&A session. Please indicate your name, affiliation, and we will take 3 questions at a time.
Tanya dia.
Dengar. Tak dengar.
Wireless mic tadi. Wireless mic.
I'm Brigadier Haji Mama Anas. Okay, can you explain a little bit about how did you find your opportunity in Africa, continent? Okay, in what area especially? Second part of my question: how Japan engage with China, probably through various means to make sure they abide to the rule of law, something like that. Okay. Can you just share that? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, sir. At the first point, what Japan do in Africa is recent efforts is cooperating in African countries in terms of peacekeeping operations capability, and that is called RDEC. RDEC is a
Japan tried to cooperate African countries so that those countries can have a rapid deployment capability in terms of PKO. And this effort is expanding and improving, is my understanding in Africa. And also, to realize the points, Japan needs to make a economic connectivity between Africa and Asia is important. But this is a challenge or jobs Japan should do in next stage, I think. Regarding the engaging the China, that is a very important point. At the same time, it's very difficult. And I think the reason why Japanese government decided to show their more active stance to China's BRI, one of the reasons I think is involved into China's BRI will give some opportunity to Japan to uphold China to to a more higher level of accountability and also openness. Japan can get more opportunity to explain those kind of importance to China if Japan join the China's BRI initiative. So that is one reason why Japan decide to show more cooperating stance to China's BRI.
Hello. Okay, my name is Raihan Izaida bin Roslan, and I am from MiDAS. Okay, so I just want to ask a question regarding Japan's government is going to have a connection with China in terms of BRI, is it? So will it affect the issues of dispute resolution, for example, in Senkaku Islands? Maybe can explain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, some experts will discuss that if the relationship in the economic domain deepen, it could have a good spillover effect on political domain. But my view is the South East China Sea issue is not so easy to solve. Because maybe Japan can improve the economic cooperation with China, but it doesn't mean that the issue in the East China Sea will be solved. It's very complicated, I think.
Thank you very much. If we look to diplomacy, Lieutenant Colonel John Cronin from Asian Armed Forces Staff College. If we look to maybe a little bit deeper into options for Japan's diplomacy, by supporting the BRI, does that also provide you with soft power diplomatic options to get concessions maybe on things like the South China Sea, like in pressuring North Korea, like its relationship and the trade relationship with the US, and anything else you might want to think of, including changing Japan's constitution. So supporting the BRI has wheels within wheels. Is that something that's being considered potentially at the political level?
Let me confirm that you mean that if Japan joined the BRI, it could be useful for the South China Sea issues?
No, what I'm saying is that by supporting China's initiative, does it also provide you with soft power options to get concessions in other areas that might be of Japan's interest?
But I don't think so. Because cooperating with China on BRI is limited to the context of economy. So as I said in previous question, so such kind of spillover effect to the political dimension is remains to be seen, I think. But if Japan can create a win-win relationship with China, that's give some opportunity for Japan to improve the good relationship also in the political arena. So I think not competition, but free cooperation. That is the important option for Japan in terms of relationship with China, I think.
Sir, Lieutenant Zaidi from Staff College. One question. From participate or from joining the initiative, BRI initiative by the Japanese government, indirectly you agreed China expanding their power through land and sea. Indirectly you are against with US foreign policy by stopping the initiative. What is your view from US perspective, you give me, what is your view on that, sir? From US perspective, sir, if you may answer the question.
Thank you very much. My view is what we I said Japan and US should be have is the aim is not to stop China's BRI, but engage in the BRI and express the importance of openness or soundness of the project to China. And that is, I think, a very important point. Not cooperation, not competition, but cooperation is important. And Japan decided to do that, but I'm not sure that United States policy on this regard. But U.S. maybe the expert in the U.S. Regard the BRI as a tool to expand China's influence to the region. But it may be partly true. But when we see the other aspect of the BRI, it's very good impact on the region, in particular in the context of economy. So we need to think how we can engage in the BRI to make, let me say, the healthy pressure on China. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Suresh from MiDAS, Desk Officer for Traditional Military Affairs. I would like to ask a question regarding on South China Sea. As we observe now, the efforts in the securitization of the South China Sea seems to be stagnant, with China's continued military building up in South China Sea, and also their refusal to sort of engage ASEAN, rather than they would like to engage bilaterally with all the countries in ASEAN. So for these few years, Philippines seems to take an avenue on marine environmental protection as a way forward in the South China Sea issue. Hopefully that joint patrols and joint scientific research would lead to some other bigger cooperation, as marine environmental protection also doesn't touch on the issue of sovereignty. So do you see this avenue gaining momentum in the securitization effort at South China Sea? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think those kind of efforts is very important to keep the stable situation of South China Sea. But I remember that during the Arroyo administration era in the Philippines, Philippines tries to improve the joint seismic survey cooperation with China, and later that Vietnam also joined that cooperation. But this seismic survey project was stopped because of the harsh domestic criticism in the Philippines. So what we need to think about is how domestic politics will have an effect on each government's South China Sea policy. So I think Philippines current Philippines government effort has a good aspect to include good situation in South China Sea, but remains to be seen how the domestic politics would affect on it.
Hello, good evening. My name is Mira. I'm from MiDAS. I just want to ask, since China's BRI is controversial right now, so my question would be, what is the Japan's future in this when Japan decides to integrate with this BRI? Will it be a bumpy road or a smooth road? Are we talking about? So, thank you.
Simple answer is very bumpy. It's not so easy. Maybe the first stage Japan should do is, as I said, which case we can cooperate with China, and it's not so easily to find. But I think China also has an incentive to cooperate with China because the demand of building an infrastructure in this region is very huge. So not only Japan, but also China also needs a cooperation with each other. So the road is bound, I think, but there are room for Japan and China can advance the cooperation on BRI, I think. Thank you.
My question is on China-Pakistan. You have some view on the project and the relationship between India and China?
Thank you very much, sir. Honestly, I'm not an expert on that region, so CPEC. CPEC is a flagship of the BRI initiative, as far as I know. But I heard from some experts that CPEC is not going well as planned. So it maybe give China some clue to rethink about other projects in other regions. I mean, how the project could be smoothly go in other regions. So CPEC is a good textbook for China, I think.